Catch the students wisely is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Cool reality, let it perfect and lost. And pretty soon you too can zoom like a boss. Catch the students wisely is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Cool reality, let it perfect and lost. And pretty
All right, how you guys doing? Don't worry, I'm gonna bring my face on right now. I never know how I have it set up, right? This is Marquesa, also known as the queen of the Zoom platform. Yes, and today, as usual, I want to share so much with you. Here's a secret. If you're listening, this month, December, it's December. A whole lot of features that they have been promising will be dropped, and some of them have already been dropped. So here's the deal. If you want to hear, because I can only share so much here, right? I can only share so much here. And I like to get down and dirty, right? With Zoom. You know, I have this love affair with Zoom. Telling you, if Zoom was a man, you would need to buy me a wedding gift. All right. First of all, I just want to say hello over there on all the different social platforms. I see LinkedIn. I see 3 audiences on Facebook. I see YouTube. So how you doing? And wait a minute, am I on Twitter? Yeah, I'm gonna make that happen. Anyway, I got some great things I want to share with you. First of all, I don't know, I feel like something's in my throat. Let me just sip some water. First of all, I'd like to say, and by the way, I always like to check my group just to make sure that I'm truly online. So give me a second, because I have done this before where I have literally sat up here and talked to myself. So yep, I see myself there. Hey, Dr. Sunny. Yeah. So now, if you want that live interaction, one of the things you want to do is get on my text list, which I'll show you how to do that in a second. And you want to join my Facebook group where there's a whole lot of Zoom stars. And just, that's where people ask questions and get all these different answers at different times and different philosophies. Like you may want to ask somebody, hey, what do you think about this webcam on Zoom? Well, girl, that didn't work for me, but I did this webcam. Well, what about this? You know, Marquesa talked about the Zap Pad. Oh, really? I got it. But what about if I have Stream Deck? So anyway, you can have all of these conversations in the group. So you don't want to waste time and waste money because you just don't know. And of course, if you really are obsessed with Zoom, because you realize that it's way more than just a platform, okay? Zoom is like a time machine. It's an assistant. I say it's my stage, my classroom, my studio, right? I'm telling you, I've closed some big deals right here. And needless to say, it really saved so many of us, recently, I would say, right when the pandemic hit. So I don't need to go on and on. You guys love Zoom. Absolutely, absolutely. But here's the deal. Stop. Come here. I just want to make sure you see me. Stop using it as just a meetings platform, because you are so missing out on all of the benefits of it. Seriously. Okay, good. So first of all, I just want to say I'd like to introduce someone to you. Before I start, actually 2 people I want to introduce to you, if it's okay. So are you ready, my dear? All right. So I'd like to introduce Diana. Diana, can you come on in and say hi to everyone? Hello. How you doing? This is Diana today. You never know who you're going to meet on which day. So today is Diana. Diana is just, she just thinks of Diana Ross and she just wants to go and have a concert in Central Park where it's raining and just raise her arms. So today, this is Diana, okay? Another person I want you to meet before we get started, let me make sure Linda is all set up. Is she all set up? Yeah, hey, Linda. Linda, say hi to everybody. Say hi, girl. Y'all are gonna meet Linda. because I like to sort of use Linda as my muse to show you how you can leverage Zoom. You know, it's much more fun to say, this is how I educated Linda to do this, and I forgot to turn off the phone, versus let me just giving you a feature. Because, you know, somebody just gives me a feature, you know, and they explain it to me, it may not stick and I'll forget it. But if somebody gives me a feature and it connects with something I do every day, then I'm going to use it. So that's how I'm using Linda. Girl, you ready? So before I get into what those awesome things are that you should be using on the Zoom platform, let me go back here as I promised. I promised you this. Here we go. Now, if you are not on my text list, this is different from my email list. If you're not on my email list, which means, you know, you're not getting some detailed information, you want to go to zoomqueen.com and then download my ebook all about creating a virtual background. Okay, make sure when you get to the actual website, you page down and you'll see some spaces where you need to fill in your information. Okay, that's how you keep up with the more detailed information, that kind of things. But for quick information, maybe I want to introduce somebody to you, you never know, or just things that I haven't yet polished up, or maybe just ask you your question or opinion, this may be great. And I don't send off a lot of things all the time. So make sure you take a screenshot of this. And you may say, well, Marquessa, what text should I send you? Tell me where you met me. If you met me on LinkedIn, just say, I met you on LinkedIn, girl, whatever, wherever you met me, let me know. So that way I can welcome you, okay? All right, so I'm back. Yes. So Linda, girl, you ready? So here's the first place that the first question that I'm going to answer today that is so important to how Linda runs her business, okay? Linda literally is what I call a speakerpreneur, but she's had her own business for pretty much 20 years. So she's used to being out in the field. She's used to being in an office. She plays in different playgrounds. But when she met Zoom several years ago, it changed the way she does business. So she continues to elevate through Zoom. So here is one of the questions that I'm going to answer for you via Linda. So what is that question, Linda? Get it to me, girlfriend. Here we go. What if, okay, Marquessa, sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm in New York City and I'm walking down the street and I'm running late for a Zoom meeting, right? So I'm on my phone trying to do the Zoom meeting, and then I run into my apartment and I need to jump on it because I don't want to sit, you know, necessarily sit on my phone once I get in my home, but then I want to go on screen. And sometimes when I do that, I got to hear this noise. It's just a pain. And then I got to look for the meeting ID. Is there a way to make this a little bit easier? Sometimes I just need to transfer from my phone to Zoom seamlessly. Linda girl, I got your answer. Here is the deal. This is beautiful. Now I'm gonna tell you, it's a little temperamental, but it does work. Step one, make sure you have downloaded the Zoom app on your Zoom mobile app on your phone. How do I do that, Marquessa? Go to your Apple Store or Google Play Store or whatever device you have, as long as it's smart, and look for Zoom Cloud or just Zoom itself, okay? And then you want to download it and then log in the exact same way that you would log in from your desktop, okay? Here's the deal. This is why I love it. Guys, we're going to talk today. One of the things that I love in terms of transferring is if you're on your phone, okay, you're on your mobile phone, you're in Zoom, you're having a meeting, right? And you need to switch to another one. Zoom is so smart. I told you it was an assistant that as soon as you open the other meeting, I mean, literally just open it, right? Zoom, they will say, do you want to switch there? It will literally show you on your phone, do you want to switch to desktop? And come closer, it does the reverse. What if you're sitting here and you're talking, you're like, darn it, I got to get to the subway. I got to get to this meeting. So then you want to go from desktop to mobile, same thing. Okay. Once both are open, right? You're using the same Zoom line, you know, you're joining the same Zoom line as here. They switch from one to the other. Hello. So again, sometimes it's temperamental, so I'll be sending me no emails. It ain't working. But when it works, and it's so cool. Would that help, Linda? Yeah. Woo! All right now, so that was one of the things. Now, I just always like to look here when I share something to see if there's anything, simple that I can address related to. Sorry, I'm looking at, sorry. I'm looking in my leveraging Facebook group, and one of my buddies from a zillion years ago, this man is one of the best speakers I know, James Jeffley, just wrote on here a really important statement. I was wondering when the other voices would start showing up. So I just thought that just made me giggle. But also I'm looking at those of you that are communicating with me via community. You literally will land in my text box right now. Okay, so if you want, you see I said right. Yeah, right now if you want to do this, okay? All right, good. So we did that. So here's the next question that I'm gonna address via Linda for you. So Linda, hit me with your next question. All right, Marquessa. Sometimes, okay, I do Zoom meetings all the time and I live stream a lot, but I want to bring the two together. But here's the catch. Okay, what's the catch, Linda? The catch is, what if it's a Zoom event, or a Zoom meeting, it doesn't matter, where I have a lot of people and I want these people to register, right? But I also want to jump on multiple platforms to stream this same meeting. Am I making sense? Yeah, let me take it, Linda. Okay, so this is what Linda is saying. Linda's on a Zoom meeting at this moment, and she has about 600 people that she wants to have an opportunity to register for this event. So she looks in her back end and she notices 200 have registered. Now, she could just go to Zoom and have a lovely event, right? But she wants to go bigger. She says, no, Marquessa, Queen of Zoom, I want to go bigger. I want to take that group. Now, by the way, all 200 of them people, I don't want to see faces. I'm not trying to do the breakout room experience. I just want to be able to do what I do at that event, but I want to be live on LinkedIn. I want to be live on Facebook. I want to be live on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. There is a way to do that. Are you Come on in. There is a way to do it, and it's called Zoom webinar. To be clear, Zoom webinar, you've heard me talk about this before, does not mean webinar. Zoom webinar is just a different platform. It happens to be Zoom's premier platform. And a lot of y'all need to use it more because it can really up-level the way you Zoom. You hear me? So it's really important to know about that side. So Linda, this is what I want you to do, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to go into the back end of your account. I want you to register everything through Zoom webinar as you normally do. And here's a side note. You can register people through Zoom meeting, but there is a difference with Zoom webinar. With Zoom webinar, you're able to go deeper. Okay, you're able to literally see how long that person stays on. You're able to get detailed reports. It goes to an entirely different level. Also, excuse me, let me drink some water. You're able to put more specific information on the registration page, such as the speaker's bio or what have you. The branding is on a whole nother level. So that's what I recommend you use, Linda, especially since you don't want to see faces. Okay. The other thing I would introduce you to, something I'm actually using right now, is called Restream. I love Restream. There are quite a few live streaming services out there. I've heard about them all, but in my opinion, why in the heck, I'm just saying, wouldn't I want to use a platform that can be recorded and transcribed? And if I want to promote a person to panelists, I can do that, and I can live stream on all the platforms, and it's branded. Hello. So why not benefit from all of that? Okay. So that's why I want you to use Zoom. So what you're going to do is you're going to go again to your back end. You're going to go to the Zoom webinar, right? And then you're going to go in and you're going to set that whole sucker up. But here's the thing. You need to go down where it says live streaming and then Google Restream, how to Restream, Restream and Facebook or wherever it is you want to go. Not Facebook, Restream and Zoom. Restream is no joke. They give you literally step-by-step instructions. That's what I did. I just Googled it. How does Restream talk to Zoom? How does Restream talk to Zoom, right? And boom, they gave me step by step by step, and I turned that sucker on, and hello, I've been live streaming for a minute, okay? So that's what you need to do. Linda, would that help? Oh, yes, Marquessa, thank you so much. Good. All right, so I know you're like, Marquessa, is it necessary to bring in the other voice? And I'm like, no, but I really want people to follow me. So if you just joined, hello, my name is Marquessa, Queen of Zoom. And I'm up here again, sharing some things about Zoom that maybe you don't know. Because again, Zoom is much more than meetings. By the way, Zoom stole that from me because that was my saying first. Zoom is way more than a meetings platform. It's an office. It's a stage. It's a studio. It's a classroom. I can continue to go on and on and on. All right. Now, before I move away from that, this evening, today, Thursday, December 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm having one of my Club ZQs. Club ZQ is for people like me that are obsessed with Zoom. And they're willing to say, oh, I want to know how Ecamm and Zoom works. I want to know how Prezi and Zoom works. I want to know how I can get all of this stuff to work on my mobile, but in a different app. They want to go deeper. I want the overlay. They want to stand out from everybody else on Zoom, and they're willing to learn how to do it. But the uniqueness about Club ZQ is we keep it simple. We give you the first few steps. Usually I bring in an expert that's an expert in that area, since I'm an expert in Zoom, and we get married with the information. No, I'm not getting married. Don't get lost. We marry the information together, and boom, you know how to use Zoom with a lot of different things. Okay. So Club ZQ is tonight at 7 p.m. and I'm going to talk about a Zoom webinar. And again, I'm going to break it down, and I talk about leveraging. I don't just talk about logistics, baby. You can go to zoom.us to get that. If you just want legit, you just want to know step 1 to step 2, how to set up a Zoom webinar. Although I give you some of those steps, of course, for free as one of my clients, you can always go to zoom.us to get that information. But what I do is I help you leverage it in your business. Why do you care about leveraging? That's where you make money. Okay. Attract clients, right? Increase your influence, your impact, and your income. So that's the difference. Okay. All right. I'm talking too much. All right, here we go. So what's the next question? So by the way, I didn't give you the call to action. If you want to come to it tonight, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do this. Send an email to team, that's TEAM at mlpspeak.com. Just do it today. You can only do it today. So if you're watching this after Friday, don't be doing that. But you can do it today. Send me an email. Let me know you're interested. And remember, if you're a ZapPad buyer, thank you so much for those of you that purchased. I'm so proud of my partnership with these speakers. So thank you guys. But if you're interested in that, make sure you let me know. Send me that email, and I have a surprise coming your way related to what's happening this evening. Yay! Okay, cool. All right. So now that that is done, remember, team at mlpspeak.com. All right. Again, if you ever forget anything, just go to zoomqueen.com or my main site, which is Zoom Like a Boss. I have so many websites, zoomlikeaboss.com. All right. So now let's go back here. Here's another question. Oh. Okay. I want to make sure. What was that, Linda? You had another question? Here's another question that I'm going to answer through Linda for you. So Linda, hit me with your next one. All right, Marquessa, in using Zoom, how do I engage? Oh, we just did that one, right? I forgot. Okay, Marquessa. Okay, you've answered all of the, wait a minute, I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, here we go. Okay, Marquessa, I need to quickly, sometimes I'm in a Zoom meeting, right? And, usually it's the same people that are attending my meetings, but sometimes it's a nice enough large group. I know our leadership team, we meet, twice a month, and that leadership team has about 15, 20 people in it, and we meet over and over and over again. And so sometimes James Jeffley is late. And sometimes, all different people are late to the meeting, and, I go and I text and I email, and it takes me away from the meeting. Is there a way that I can maybe alert or remind or somehow let Zoom, since Zoom is my assistant, somehow get me that person in the meeting? Thank you, Linda, for that question. Absolutely. So I'm going to repeat that. You're in a Zoom meeting, right? And we're going to say meeting versus webinar, right? But you can also do this in webinar, but we're going to focus on meeting at this moment. And again, you want to bring people in, but you don't want to leave the Zoom platform. Are you ready? Okay. It's called Zoom in Meeting Chat. Oh, I'm sorry. That is not true. It's two Zoom chats. One is in meeting and one is just a regular old Zoom chat. And they have two different responsibilities. The Zoom and meeting chat is going to the next level. We'll come back to that in a second. But the regular Zoom chat, you need to be on. And if you have a team, make sure you add them as contacts. So let's say James is late. I'm picking on you, James, that you picked on me. Then you can literally go to your mobile phone right in the Zoom app, text him. You don't have, the cool part, you can just say, dude, join the meeting. And then Zoom takes care of the rest, right? They take care of the rest. And Zoom is not trying to embarrass anyone, Linda, okay? But Zoom will also let you know, they'll put them in they'll give you some alerts as the host who joined the meeting a little later. So maybe you want to go and catch them up on something, okay? Because sometimes when I'm deep into my zone and I'm leading something, I don't have time to worry about who's there and who's not there. So Zoom keeps up with that for you. So again, there's two different types of Zoom chats. So this is what I need you to do, Linda. Again, you should have your Zoom mobile. Make sure it's updated to the latest one. Click on Zoom chat. Then think about who are the people that I meet on Zoom all the time, right? Add their contact information, send them invites. You can even create a group. You can call the group, request a meeting group, whatever you want to call the group, right? And then you literally, get this, you don't even have to be in a meeting to talk to them on Zoom. You can do this at any time. So step aside WhatsApp, step aside Messenger, step aside text messaging, okay? Basically, it's all of that in Zoom world. And you can send pictures, agendas, whatever it is you need to do. So use it. It is amazing. And what I love is, you may say, well, Marquessa, I use WhatsApp, or I use this. Yeah, but I'm learning. I don't like things everywhere. I can't keep up. So wouldn't it be cool to have certain things that's just in your Zoom world? Does that make sense? And you may say, well, Marquessa, can I see the Zoom chat on my desktop? Absolutely. But more than likely, you're going to want to use it on your mobile phone. So hopefully that made sense to you. Linda, you go, girl. One other part that I promised, and I'm not going to go deep into it, because I believe Zoom will be dropping some more things on this later this month. So I don't want to say something and it hasn't been released. That is very frustrating. But I will say this. In terms of regular chat, the normal chat that we use, what I love that Zoom is making happen, which is making it happen, Zoom will allow me as the host or a co-host to highlight certain parts of the conversation, right? Which I love, because it's easy so what if you have a handout or something and you got all these people coming onto Zoom, you can have that handout, you can pin that handout right there in chat. That way it's easy for people to see it. And you can decide who are the people I want to highlight. Maybe you have some hosts or people that are helping you out. It's also searchable. Again, if this doesn't work, it's coming this month. Okay. And another thing that it does, oh, by the way, you may have already noticed something that's new in chat. Now it not only shows the person name, it shows the person face, which I love. Let me tell you why. I remember I did this event. We had, golly gee whiz, what was it? About 400 plus attendees. Did it for a client. It was a Zoom, one of my Zoom productions. And I was the MC for this also. And we went from Zoom meeting to Zoom webinar, creating 2 different experiences. And they had an award ceremony that they needed to do, right? But here's where this is what threw my team off. You know, what, again, you don't know who's who in chat. I mean, that shows up as the attendees. It's so helpful when you can see somebody's face, because sometimes a person will come in and forget to name themselves. So thank you, Zoom. So if we had had this feature at that time, I believe this was sometimes last year, it would have been so much easier to identify where the person was so that we can move them into the Zoom webinar waiting room, okay, which is called the green room, before we brought them in and gave them their award. Yes, that would have been nice, but it's happening now. And again, if you do not have this particular feature, just stay patient. It will show up, okay? Yay! And if you haven't heard already, Linda, girl, come here. If you haven't heard already, I know some of you guys are nervous that you're going to miss a Zoom update. I feel you. Usually, I have a habit of when I log into my Zoom. I got something else to show you. But when I log into my Zoom account, I'm used to going to the navigation bar and clicking to see if there's a new update. Guess what? I don't have to do that anymore. If you're updated, which means you have the latest Zoom update. If you don't know if you do or don't, or where to get it, just go to zoom.us/download, zoom.us/download. And depending on your operating system, you will get all the steps you need to update. Because guess what? This particular update now automatically updates. So we no longer have to do it ourselves, okay? But you still need me. Pay attention, get on my list so that I can tell you when it is updated, because nothing is more annoying when you have a feature and you don't even know it. You hear me? So you want to make sure you stay on my radar for that. I want to backtrack for a second because I just remembered something. This is something, Linda, and the rest of you, that I really ask you to do. You should, I recommend, I highly encourage you to, again, go to zoom.us, right? Click on the blah, blah, blah. What is that? Blah, blah, blah. Let me just see. I haven't shared this in a while. Just want to I think it's resources. Yeah. It's, no, it's not. Wait a minute. Let me find it. Sorry, I thought I knew it by heart. I want you to go here and download the Zoom client. The Zoom client sits on the side of your laptop or desktop forever. And if you're thinking, Marquessa, I want to chat with people, but I'm not, I purposely put my smartphone to the side. So if I'm on my desktop, how do I know a team member or whomever you chatted me via Zoom chat? How do I know that? Guess what? If you have the little Zoom client in the corner of your laptop or desktop, guess what? It'll show up kind of like you do on your phone. It'll show 1, 2, 3 messages. Isn't that cool? So make sure you download Zoom client. Let me tell you how to do that. Oh, that's correct. I had it right. Hello. Okay, you're going to go to zoom.us. You're going to go to resources at the top. And the very first thing you come to is download Zoom client. So make sure you do that. The Zoom client does a whole lot of things. That'll be a whole nother live, okay? Can't go into that right now, but I highly recommend it. It makes your life so much easier and it connects with your calendar. All right, so we learned a lot today. Well, let me just make sure, Linda girl, you are smarter than ever. Go out there and run the world. So guys, I talked about a few of the wonderful ways to leverage the Zoom platform. And I did it through an individual, just to make it a little bit easier for you to go and do the same thing. So I recommend that when I share these things with you, test it out, see how it works. That way you don't forget it, right? And remember, I'm not just sharing tips with you just to get you to go, ooh, that's not my goal. I'm sharing tips with you because I know if you use the tips or the strategies that I mentioned, guess what? You're going to up-level your business. What do I call it? Income, influence, and impact, right? And here's the thing I love, productivity. That's kind of impact. productivity. Yeah, you know, I'm addicted. I'm no good at productivity. That's not my fault. I'm ADHD, but I am really, you know, good at being productive. I've learned. It's not natural, but I've learned. So if Zoom can help me do it, yay, I'm a happy person. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's any, it's literally 2:30. I don't want to go over. Let me see if there's any questions, any comments. Guys, if you have anything, sorry, I'm hearing myself. Let me see. Thesia. Oh, what a cute name. Oh my goodness. I love it. Thesia. Thesia. I love those kind of names. Oh, and it's nice too. It's hot. But anyway, focus. Thesia, hello. She said hello to me. How are you? So glad you're there. Any questions for me? Let me know if you have any questions. And then let me go to community. Let me show you again how to text me. You can just send me a text right now. Make sure you screenshot this. And I'm going to go right now to my community to see if anyone texts me anything. Okay. So right now I'm good. I don't see any major text regarding this particular one. And I would love for you to join my list by sending a text. You can send whatever you want to send. But I love to know how you found me and which platform, because again, that helps me understand my audience a little bit more. Okay. All right. So we're going to get out of here. I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Y'all want me to sing? Y'all want me to sing? You know, I used to be a singer back in the day, seriously, professional singer. I studied it. I went to School of Performing Arts, arts magnet. Erykah Badu was one of my classmates. I can sing. Hello, Roy Hargrove. We have a lot of celebrities come out of School of Performing Arts in Dallas. And I performed all over Houston. But now that I speak, the voice isn't quite there. But for fun, before I play my Zoom outro, I would like to say, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, rock. You know, I love Jingle Bell Rock. It's so much fun. But if I sing it, it's a really long song. But from my heart to yours, have an awesome, awesome Christmas. You know, my pastor asked us a couple of Sundays ago, what does Christmas mean to you? What does Christmas mean to you? And I remember when I sat there and I went, really, what does it mean? When I think of Christmas, what does it mean? And it's shifted over the years because it meant something completely different than when I was a kid. When I was a really young kid, it meant that I had to keep my eyes closed Christmas Eve. So, you know, I won't get pepper in them from being nosy. You know, that was just a strategy for my parents to get me to shut up. Those are, I believed in Santa Claus. Oops, oops, oops. I see a good friend calling me. That is, oh, you know what? If you're watching me now, try it again, Robert, because I just declined it. But I just had somebody that's added to my chat. They just call me back. So you may say, well, what if someone calls you? Because they can call you via Zoom. That's a whole nother situation. Okay. So I can go, you can click. I can literally see in my, this just brings it all home, honey. So let me just separate from Christmas for a second. Right in your Zoom client, I see Robert Kennedy, one of my contacts. And so I can literally click. There's a down arrow to the right of him. I can invite him to the meeting. I can add members. I can view his profile. I can add auto. I can do all of this awesome stuff right now. Right now, I just clicked it and it did not interrupt. Isn't that cool? So you don't have to sit up here and go and do something else. So that's how serious it is. It's so good. I just called Robert. Come on in, Robert. Come on in. This is my dear friend, Robert. I'm live right now, and I just wanted to show them what I just did. You called me, and then I saw you show up in my Zoom client. Robert laughs at me. He thinks I'm way too excited. Robert shows up in my Zoom client, and then I click invite to meeting. Tell me from your end, Robert, because we were chatting, because I wanted to kind of do some dangerous stuff on it. We were chatting earlier via Zoom. Tell me, how did it feel to receive it? Blah, blah, blah. You got to unmute yourself. Unmute.
I was on the road, So it kind of came in as a notification, just like a regular chat or text would. So it wasn't intrusive in any way. I didn't have to kind of go to the Zoom app to get the information. Well, when I click on it, of course, it opens it up, but it was pretty seamless. And so then it's kind of like this all-inclusive communications tool now. So you're able to call me. And I think a lot of these platforms are going to that. So, I mean, just like you got Facebook Messenger, which has now the video and audio calling, Zoom now has that. And so this is my first time calling, and now you're just able to pull me into a meeting and literally a live stream without my permission. No.
So maybe I should, you know what? We should message them so they don't come live and go, whoa.
Yeah. Well, no. So I do get a notification that this is being live streamed. So I have the opportunity to decline it or say, no, I don't want to live stream right now. I don't want to. Okay, so there is some, Zoom does tell me, it's not like you pulled me in and I'm like, OMG, I'm being seen by the world right now. It's literally, I have the option to know that it's happening.
Wow.
But check it out. It's kind of funny. I didn't realize I went to Facebook at the same time after I called you. And of course, I
saw me live. Oh, I look cute. Look at you, Diana. Girl, you look cute.
Right. So I saw that. But what was cool is that Facebook, I have my settings on right now where it's doing the transcriptions, the live captioning. So when I received a call from you, I saw that you said my name even before you answered me. So I was kind of like,
doodle-doo.
Yeah. So
wow, that's cool. Oh wow, that's awesome. What I'm hoping next, and I'm gonna put a little something in Zoom's ear, not to blow up Facebook, but I'm noticing now you can do a whole Clubhouse situation on Facebook now. Notice that. So I think this may be getting us closer. It's got a little bit of Clubhouse, a little bit of Messenger and WhatsApp and Zoom all up in one.
Yeah, and you know how all these platforms are. They're kind of copycats in some ways. Like when something blows up, the other people are like, oh my gosh, we got to add that. We got to add that. So, I mean, you've got Twitter Spaces. Now, Twitter's like, yeah, we've got these audio rooms on there now. And so, yeah, I think everybody's trying to figure out how to get the attention of the most people.
Get out of here. I barely spend any time. I'm on Twitter, but I literally communicate or post on Twitter via Instagram. So I'm completely out of the loop on that. Wow. That's cool. Wow. Yeah. Well, Robert, do you want to share? I kind of went a little bit over. Do you want to share? By the way, guys, Robert is one of my best friends. Brilliant, right? You think I know Zoom, he knows Zoom. He even came into my club ZQ and taught us eCamp. So this beautiful thing that I have, I would not have it if it wasn't for Robert. And it was so quick and easy. But Robert, do you want to share? Putting you on the I can't forget what I'm trying to say, but yeah.
On the spot.
On the spot. I couldn't think of that word. Diana.
Yeah. See, that was one 4-letter word you forgot, huh?
Putting you on the spot, is there a tip you like to share with all the Zoom fans?
Yeah. A tip, my goodness. You know what? I don't know. The only tip I have is check in with Marquesa at this point, because there's so many different things. I'm still kind of getting used to things because of the new apps marketplace is phenomenal. And I'm trying to figure out how to best incorporate it into my virtual sessions, because Zoom has some of the basic things like the polling, but there's now these other polling applications in the marketplace that have much more, they're more dynamic, they have much more capability, and it looks more fun and engaging than what the regular Zoom thing is. And so I'm looking at all of these integrations. It's telling me that I can integrate Zoom with my Asana. I can launch things, my productivity apps in my business right from inside of Zoom and incorporate a lot of different things. So I think right now I'm just exploring what are the systems, what are the automations, what are the steps, what's the workflow that I can utilize in my business with this, because it's not just about, oh, hey, I need to have a meeting, let me jump on Zoom anymore. It's like, okay, I have a meeting with a client. As a matter of fact, before this, I just got off. I had for all of my speaking engagements in December, I set up debriefs with my clients. So I have a debrief with my client. Do I want to now record this, or do I need to incorporate any notes into my CRM from my Zoom meeting, so I'm not opening up like a ton of different applications at once? So I'm really exploring, and I know you just asked for a tip and I just kind of went on and on.
No,
but,
I love it.
But I'm exploring what the workflow can be utilizing the Zoom marketplace and the different applications that I already use, and how I can kind of create a cycle or automation workflow with all of them.
See, you guys see this? And again, I stand for growing your business with Zoom. And
Yeah.
Robert has gotten a whole lot of followers from leveraging Zoom and some other tools, or just Zoom. He can, connect with his clients more. It's a machine. It's truly a business machine. Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I'm so mad because I found an app, and if somebody finds this, let me know. There is an app that one of my Zoom contacts told me about, inside Zoom. I don't think it's in the marketplace. I'm going to find it because Rakita wants me to find it, because I promised you. But it's supposedly, Robert, kind of a taste of eCam in native Zoom. Yeah. So they can't do all of this, but you're able to do this situation in Zoom. I mean, in Zoom world. Like you can put your brand, your name, all that stuff. But I can't remember the name of the app, guys. So soon as I remember, I'll post it and share it with you.
Love it.
Good one. Yeah.
Love it. I know that I think it's available inside of Zoom.
I don't know if it's available inside of Zoom, guys. They literally have an app called I can't even. Yeah. It's so annoying. But and we talked about it in Club CQ about a month ago. I think it is. I think
so. I don't remember. I know
to talk to each other.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Allows like overlays and kind of green screening and some different things, picture-in-picture types of things that would really up level what you do in your Zoom as well. So
can you spell that for them?
I don't even remember how many M's. I think it's like I think it's MMHMM, but
MMH. I think it is too.
Yeah, but sometimes I make a mistake and I do like 3 M's. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, guys, if we're wrong, just put it in the Leveraging Zoom group, and I'm sure somebody will post. And there's other ones. Prezi Video will also. They've been dropping things.
Listen,
others,
that's
I don't know a lot about Prezi. That is one of my
go-tos. That's one of my go-tos. I love Prezi. If I'm on the road, or it's .app. MMHMM.app. But yeah, Prezi Video is one of my rock star tools that I use, and I love what they're able to do now, because they've incorporated things that even like that I don't do as easily in eCam, because they have a library of like GIFs and stickers and kind of fun things that you could put on the screen, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, how'd you do that?"
So, oh my goodness.
So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do right inside of the Zoom app. So it's kind of, I like what you're talking about, not eliminating the other apps, but how you can make Zoom like your home base and bring all of this other stuff in to up level what you do for your clients.
I love it, guys. It's not about, I have an iPhone with a zillion apps and I don't use them all. I do use the makeup ones though. But anyway, I don't use them all. But I'm going to tell you something. In my Zoom world, I use what I upload, and it makes a huge difference. Guys, we're going to close out. I was just telling them what Christmas meant to me. So I'll finish this. I want to hear, if you don't mind, unless you got to go, what Christmas means to you. Christmas, well, you go first and then I'll close it out. What does Christmas mean to you, Robert? Being a father, a husband, a businessman, all that good stuff.
when I was a kid, it meant time off. The holidays and presents. I mean, I grew up in New York, and so when I was a kid, they had Christmas, like Channel 11 WPIX. They would have the Yule log playing, and so like there was no TV programming on that day. It was just the Yule log, the fireplace burning, and so it just kind of, at that point in my childhood, it was like the world stopped so that you could celebrate with family, and so that's kind of the burning memory in my head of Christmas. And there's, there's a feeling that kind of comes along with it. This week I heard all this noise in my cul-de-sac, and I was like, what the heck is going on out there? There was sirens and all sorts of stuff. I thought somebody's house was on fire. And I went out there, and there was a fire truck with Santa on top of it, kind of circling the cul-de-sac, just to remind people of the season, etc. So it's just kind of this time where everybody, it's like the whole world comes together and, has a similar experience or similar feeling. And that's pretty cool.
Oh, well, guys, as I was telling you as a kid, my parents are very strategic. I thought it was Santa Claus when I was young. So keep my eyes closed Christmas Eve, afraid that they're going to put pepper in my eyes. But I want to say this is important. As a Christian, Christmas #1 means to me the birth of Jesus Christ, although technically he wasn't born on Christmas, but we know how we celebrate that. So one thing I remember from childhood is I was always in a play at church. And if I played Mary, one time I was in the manger. So I was always in a childhood play. But as an adult, just like Robert said, it gives me a moment to pause and just reach out to the ones I love. And, and it's so funny. Back then when I was a kid, presents was everything. Now it's a different kind of present. It's communication. It's saying hi, all that good stuff. Guys, don't forget to check up this year on your single buddies to see how they're doing. Okay. But it is a great time of year to just reach out. That's what I would say.
Love it.
All right. And by the way, Robert is Santa Claus this year. That beard. I can't help it. All right, guys, I'm going to go out with my Zoom Queen song. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, my dear. I'm going to go out with my Zoom. See you later. We're going to go out with my Zoom Queen song. And I will see you guys. I am going to come back before the year ends. I just do not know when. So we'll have to see. But let me do this right here. Let me go and close her out. I can't wait. Oh my God. Guys, I enjoyed you. I hope you got something out of this. Oh, oops. I hope you got something out of this experience. What was I going to say? Yeah, I hope you guys got some out of this experience, and let's close out. Here we go. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom?